Now, I know what you guys are about to say. Well, shit. Because this is an EA game.
EA.
Oh, yeah.
It was published, but
I wasn't gonna say that.
I was about to say wibbly wibbly woo, so I don't know what the heck you were about to try and think me saying.
I was about to say, did anyone want the rest of this nutty bar?
Nah, I was also
just a quick time check to see where what time are you guys? Don't pause. I just
30
want to see what
second.
time.
31,
31,
32.
32.
34.
You're good.
I think you're close
so,
enough.
James, why are we doing the second game?
Because, for some odd reason, the sequel ended up getting a Switch version. And I should say right now, I've never played the first game. This is pretty much my first go at the Unravel series.
So, what I can describe as being Unravel... So first off, I can say I don't think this is Yarny, because this Yarny has 3 horns, and the Yarny we know only has 2,
right.
Sealy.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the game. Well, I know some
jeez.
supplementary material does claim that this is a Yarny, but it's not the same Yarny from the first game. No, this is a completely new one who's been thrown
The
overboard.
thread!
Oh, no.
So, right now... what Celia and I have learned is the fact that just there happened, that should mean that this Yarny is dead. Yarny requires a full-on... The Yarny that we know requires a connection via that thread at all point in times. It's practically a lifeline for it.
It's literally a lifeline.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's barely kicking. And if Unravel 1 taught us, Yarny represents memories, like the good nostalgic moments and stuff, but he's kind of bummed.
Or is he?
My tail got snapped. Oh,
Another.
Where did you come from?
it's a blue Yarny.
Hence, 2.
I'm starting to see why they wanted this on the Switch with the Joy-Cons now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Pretty colors. So yeah, 2 Yarny share their thread, and look at that, they sync up.
Oh,
And bam!
yay!
Now they have a permanent lifeline connection.
we're like brothers, only closer.
Only closer.
And now they can work to collect the memories together, which are those sparkly things.
Yay!
But anyway, that was something that I'm not gonna lie was kind of a reaction of mine. Like when you were talking about how like those things that popped out of them that represents memories. I'm like, devil damn it, another amnesia story.
Whoa!
They're merged
you
together.
fuse.
Nope.
Oh wait, I thought that was a
So
graphical
cute.
thing. They're
No,
actually
the threads
merged together.
fused. So that's how
Yeah.
you can move as
The
one.
lines.
Yep, in
Oh,
case you're
wow.
playing this game solo, which,
Oh.
I mean, considering I don't really have anyone near me who want to play this game alongside me.
Logan, we gotta try it this weekend.
I know, I don't own the game yet, though.
Woo!
What?
I meant to do that.
So I'll say right off the bat, like, as far as, like, typical 2D platformers are concerned, I gotta give this game kudos for being as, well,
Gorgeous.
I mean, it's, honestly, it handles really good, and,
that.
on top of that, it's like, I mean, especially for a Switch title, like, it looks really nice.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Oh,
We
you
can
can
get
change
different
the way your
colors.
character looks.
Appearance.
I was about yarn balls.
Huh.
Quick, give him the Yoshi. I think he's running low.
Oh, whoa. Oh, you can go to different
Yes,
Yarnies. Yeah,
look at
that's
That
that.
were
cool.
literally like twins, if we wanted to be anyway.
You're gonna hear me saying that a lot. Yay!
Body, colors, wee!
Oh, whoa!
The colors feel so bright, kids.
I never felt
I'm
like
tripping
this.
out,
I'll
man.
Keep on rolling.
But they're not gonna make it green because there's a lot of greenery around here.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah.
makes sense.
So, I mean, I've never played the first game before, so why don't you guys give a little more intake on what that was all about, and then we'll move on to what the sequel has to offer by comparison.
If I recall, the first one, it took place in the house of an elderly woman who was reminiscing on the days of her youth, her childhood, it was her memories, and Yarny
Like the
represented...
scent of fresh
Ah,
lemons.
and Yarny represented those memories. So you went through these different like nature locales, like a forest, a bog, a snowy mountain, a beach, and you were collecting memories, and you were filling up a scrapbook of her memories for her to, I guess, hand off to her child, I guess, something like that. And that was... Oh snap! You can wall jump in this
Oh,
game.
awesome!
Also,
Nice.
this wasn't a thing in the first game.
Nope. So I'll say
well.
the extent of the movement in the first game was you could swing off of things, you could tie your yarn to different objects, and if you tied a taut enough line between 2 points, you could use it as a trampoline. This wall
Okay, so
jumping, wall sliding stuff was pretty. This is new.
So I'm guessing, like, going back to what you were saying about using the thread line to, like, pull stuff around, can you also use it in the same way that Kirby does in Epic Yarn, where he could use it to, like, pull away patches of things to reveal stuff?
Kind of like right here, James is showing
Sort
off.
of.
You throw it and you latch onto
You-
things.
You can you can use it to pull other objects to different spots to make things happen.
Right. But that's
Is-
it. And yeah, to finish that statement, James, the game just ended with you completing the scrapbook, and that seems to be it. I have no idea where we are now or why we were on a boat that seemed to be an unmanned boat at that.
Yeah, controlled by one
Yeah.
Yarny. Like, shit. This one's hardcore.
Ooh, but yeah, the swinging physics are fun, and they have looks like it's going to be really cool. Here we go.
Woohoo!
It definitely seems fat. Yarny definitely seems to move a lot faster in this game.
Oh
more
yeah, no,
acrobatic.
like, I mean, like I said, like this game in overall just has a really nice feel.
Devil
to
damn
it.
it!
Oh no!
Whoa.
Things just aren't easy for the little Dickens.
I do
No.
appreciate how Yarny is freer in this game.
Oh, yeah,
If I could
there's
just
no-
and
Go
if I
ahead,
could just
Jim, go
interrupt, I know you said Dickens. It almost sounded like because of the call, it almost sounded like you called him a dickhead.
I heard that too.
No. Oh, but yeah, and Silly brought up another point, James. You should be lucky because in the Unravel 1, the way this all worked was you had this lifeline, which was a thread that started from the beginning of the level, and you had to basically make your way to little yarn spools to quickly refill your yarn, because the further you get away from the last yarn patch, you become thinner and thinner until you run out of thread.
And you can't move anymore.
So
Yeah.
you would have to
That
like
sounds
plan.
annoying.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Well-
going backward.
It certainly was a good way of teaching you how to be economic with your string.
This
Yeah.
this could use a friend's help.
Yeah.
So yeah, all your yarn is pretty much attached to your two Yarnies here, and that's all you really have to worry about.
You know, it's a
Okay,
good
you
thing
can-
that. Oh boy. It's a good thing that this game doesn't run on more realistic physics. Otherwise, you would risk the chance of the yarn that's joining you two together it being caught by various random things like random twigs and whatnot.
Yeah, but I do like that, the idea that when you guys split up, you can climb up your own bit of thread. But it's a cool like carryable rope. But anyway, sorry, that's enough of me gushing about the first game. What do you think about this so far, James?
Well, I've already beaten the game as of this recording, and I will say, like, the game does make extensive use out of. Oh yeah, by the way, if you'd rather play the game at 60 frames per second, you can also do that too.
Oh,
It will
Whoa,
It
nice.
will cut.
Wow,
it
what
will
a
cut back on some of the
difference.
graphical details a bit, but otherwise, if you prefer your games being more like this, then
Whoa.
have at it. Though that being said, this only works when you're playing on TV mode.
I forgot the
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, you can climb up objects like that. Okay, but I was like, gosh, I forgot about the shiny 60. We're starting to do all 60 FPS stuff. It's cool. Anyway, so yeah, the climbable walls I don't remember. So, what were your experiences like with the game, James?
Well, one thing I will definitely say is that, like, even though you've seen the two Yarnies tied up for the most part, like, a lot of the puzzles in this game will definitely rely on you making good use out of both of them. Like, sometimes you'll have to manipulate this one piece of architecture with the two of them, and of course, like you mentioned before, you'll still have to tie certain things in a knot to make a trampoline of sorts.
Okay.
It's pretty much how the first game did it.
Whee!
Nice.
Yay! You did it. But otherwise, what I do love about this game is that it actually has a fairly nice. It has a really interesting balance between the puzzle stuff and the platforming. In fact, honestly, again, I just think it's amazing just how stellar the platforming is in general. Like, it feels pretty tight.
And I want to say, yeah, that was nice. In the original, you couldn't untie things remotely. You had to go back to where you were to untie the knot.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like the sequel has brought a lot of quality of life changes.
Yeah.
I
It
want to
really
ask
has.
because I haven't really been seeing like a whole lot of opposition from the game yet. Say, are there any enemies, and if so, is there a means you could defend yourself?
There are these shadow-like creatures that'll pop up from time to time, but otherwise, you really can't defeat them. They're just a means to avoid.
So they're kind of like the dark blobs from a Boy and His Blob. They're more so obstacles than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't remember shadow things in ours. We had to like deal with like environmental obstacles and stuff. You just had to try and dodge them.
Well, no, there was also like
Oh, do you remember that like the birds, animals, and stuff?
Yeah, the graven.
Oh,
the crabs.
it should be said that they still do have those too, because there's literally one point in the game where you're literally being chased by a turkey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
mad
little fucking
turkey.
turkey.
Whoa,
A turkey, or did you say turtle or turkey?
Yeah, a mad
Turkey.
it's a turkey.
Oh
Whoa.
Ah!
oh boy. Please
No.
tell me this lookout shows off the turkey.
no.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, wow.
I think that's literally. In,
Yeah,
that's either
turkey.
the third. Yeah, it's only in the third or fourth stage, if I remember correctly.
Kinda snowy.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's
Kind of
a-
yarny.
But you know, this is nice to see, and I'm very surprised it got on the Switch because I think Unravel 1 was an Xbox One exclusive,
I think
It
it,
might
was.
have been on-
if not
It
PC
was
as well.
also, yeah, I was gonna say it was also on Steam.
That's true. That's true.
Hey,
Right,
Yanni
but-
here. It's with
Oh no, EA Origin.
Woo!
It was
Hey,
on EA
Yanni
Origin.
here. People tell me I should be climbing on my own yard, and I said put a cork in it, you bimbo.
I'm a grown man. I know.
Put a cork in it, bimbo. I'm a grown man. So I can dang it.
Dang it!
Dang it!
Oh yeah. Another thing I should be bringing up, because I actually stopped to look at before we start seeing the more important details behind this game's subtle plot, is that technically, like in the original game, you said that you were pretty much reliving the memories of an old woman, right?
Right.
As far as this
Yeah.
game is concerned, you're actually I don't know if there's so much memories, or maybe they're just like a figment of sorts that's playing its own story.
that's
But basically, the Yarnies here are they represent
Ow.
these two children pretty much going on their own little adventure,
Oh,
while also being
okay.
chased by these men in black suits, which represent
Hmm.
the shadows that you'll occasionally come across.
That is odd, but okay.
Ah, I get it. It's child
Interesting.
services.
No, I don't know. For all we know, it could be Escape from Witch Mountain or something. Oi!
Could be.
Or it could be Monkey Island too.
Oh
Ow.
God!
Ouch.
So
Fingers for
so
fucking.
literally, one of these Yarnies represents Guybrush Threepwood.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why one of them can hold their breath for 10 minutes.
Well, thankfully, these Yarnies, well, actually, they can't swim at all.
So,
watch out.
so have you at any point in time tried looking into what what this game is like?
I have not, though. Honestly, considering the fact that this game is pretty lenient when it comes to like the co-op centric puzzles, I mean, I think you can get by this game perfectly fine with single player in mind. But well, say if you were one of those lucky people that have the Steam version and decide to give. Oh wait, what am I saying? Of course never mind. They can't swim. It's just that there's specific water that they can't that they drown in. But
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
fair.
think
I
ours
guess if
likes
it's
water
shallow
too
enough,
much.
they can swim through it.
Yeah, I don't think
Probably,
I don't think Unravel 1 Yarny liked swimming much.
No.
Falling
no,
apart.
he did not. He
Yeah,
really didn't.
if any water was above his head, he would drown instantly.
I mean,
Yeah.
all things considered, if my foresight was if I actually had more interest in this game before it ended up getting a Switch port, I probably could have gotten it on Steam and forced Logan to join me via Parsec.
Anyway, just
Oh, that's
real
right. It is
quick,
on Steam.
just real quick, like when you failed and you were like falling down, it's like Yanni, keep your legs straight when you hit the water. I got my legs straight, boss.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa!
So that you don't cut yourself in half when you hit the water. What the? This sparkly thing definitely seems pretty active. I remember it just used to create cool little things in the backdrop in Unravel 1.
Yeah.
I'm comparing this too much to... Oh, gosh!
Whoa!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm comparing this to Unravel
Okay.
1 too much.
guys
I'm
okay?
You're
very...
fine.
I'm very happy to see this game getting a sequel and some continuation, because this has been one of the more charming things to ever come out of EA's hole.
I
Hello.
noticed the music
Yeah.
wasn't. I noticed the music didn't have a Celtic feel to it until just now.
It's probably because the whole place was a deal. You're in the caves. It's all building.
And so we come to our hub, the lighthouse, in which we choose our path.
Okay, here
Huh.
we go.
Did the first game ever have subtitles like these in the loading screens as well?
I don't think in the loading
Sort
screens.
of. More like in the. They had titles in the scrapbook, not like
Right, in-
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's
You
no
would-
scrapbook in this game, so I guess they decided, fuck it, we'll just put it on the loading screens of levels.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like the hub in the first game was like a house, and you were like exploring little photos of the areas, and they would be like a Mario 64 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I think to get more like some more context to the story, I think depending on what objectives you do, you'll unveil some of these paintings.
There we go.
Something about a bird that's caged up by some bad birds. And the story goes on from there, assuming you decide to go for everything in this game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and The first one is the bird falling from the nest.
Oh wow, you just created a Nexus Rift.
Wow.
You know, your old-fashioned, timey Nexus Rift.
And yeah, that's literally the entrance way to our next chapter. Though that being said, I decided to stop here for our look at because this game is pretty short. Like in total, there's only about 7 levels.
Oh, okay.
So I figured, like, if I were to do another level now, that'd already be like already a good third or so of the game's overall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
We don't want to
I mean,
spoil too much of it.
Yeah.
And
Just
you
like-
know what? I guess Discord didn't want to spoil me because on my end it was like James is like, I stopped at this point to look at because, and there was just a long pause before
Oh,
I got
no.
to hear him again.
Aw.
But
Because, I forget.
but yeah, I mean, even looking at this little water shimmer effect here, it's still a very pretty looking game.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Amazing, it still runs even at 60 frames on the Switch. Usually that stuff makes the heater go nuts.
True, but I enjoyed that. I'll definitely have to look into that game. I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say that you don't really need experience with the first game to really get any sort of enjoyment out of this game. I mean, maybe some of its overall context will be lost on you, considering the fact I don't think that even in game they tell you that these things are called yarnies. Like, I think that's something you have to look up in some other supplementary material.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, hope you all enjoyed our little look at on Unravel 2. Again, it's they literally released it on Switch all unexpectedly, and again, it still amazes me that it's actually one of those few third-party games that runs really freaking well on it.
Oh yeah,
Like, absurdly well. Like, I've heard some people actually say it looks better on the Switch than it does on Xbox One.
damn.
Like, how's that for irony? But yeah, I'm James Bay Extreme.
I'm
Lucky
Earthly.
Jack. I'm
Sorry.
Lucky Jack 20. I forgot. My bad.
It's
I'm
okay.
hiring Princess Alita.
And I never felt more alive.
God damn it. Old joke. Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Let me tell you a yarn.